In a quiet corner of an old library, Sarah, a curious and adventurous little girl, stumbles upon an old book covered with dust. She does not know that this discovery will change her life forever. When Sarah opens the mysterious book, she is immediately transported to a hidden dimension, a world inhabited by powerful and mystical creatures known as elves. In Whispers of Elves, a girl's journey into the enchanted world, we follow Sarah's extraordinary adventure as she navigates through the charming and treacherous world of elves. With each chapter, Sarah uncovers the secrets of this mysterious world, encountering helpful elves and malicious elves along the way. As Sarah explores this captivating universe, she learns about the rich history and customs of the elves, reveals ancient prophecies, discovers their hidden powers. With the fate of both the genie world and the human world at stake, Sarah must find the strength within herself to face absolute evil and restore harmony. Join Sarah on her exciting journey as she fights her fears, forms unexpected alliances, and reveals the true nature of friendship, courage, and sacrifice. And the Jinn Mania will transport readers to a world where magic and reality are intertwined, making them breathless with every turn of the page. Hidden Treasure. While the scorching sun was hitting the busy streets of Sarah's city, she sought refuge from the heat in an old library. Attracted by the smell of antique books, she wandered through the corridors, her fingers touching the thorns of countless fairy tales. And as she was about to leave empty-handed, her eyes fell on a strange book, hidden away on a dusty shelf. Fascinated by its ornate cover and pale gold lettering, Sarah carefully pulled the book out of its place. And at the moment when her fingers touched his worn pages, a strange energy ran through her veins. Ignoring the warning signs, she opened the book, swept by the ethereal light. When the brilliance faded, Sarah found herself standing in an unfamiliar world. The air was crackled with magic, the landscapes sparkled with the beauty of another world. You have entered the world of Jinn. Confusion and awe seized Sarah's heart as she watched the imaginary scenes in front of her. Towering mountains decorated with glowing crystals stretched towards the sky. Dense forests were whispering secrets in the wind, rivers were sparkling with a glow from another world. But amid the enchanting beauty, there remained a sense of danger. Holding the book firmly in her hand, Sarah realizes that he holds the key to her return. But first she has to navigate this treacherous world, face unknown challenges, and uncover the truth behind the Jinn's obsession. And so began her journey. With determination in her eyes and a pocket of courage, Sarah set off into the unknown, ready to unravel the secrets of the world of elves and discover her destiny. The Open Gate. When Sarah ventured deeper into the world of Jinn, she could not get rid of the feeling that she was being watched. Shadows danced on the edge of her vision, whispers echoed in the air, as if the essence of the world whispered secrets to her. But were these whispers a gift or a warning? The book in her hand seems to pulsate with energy, directing her towards her next destination. Sarah followed the book's silent call, winding through narrow corridors and crossing sparkling bridges. She marveled at the intricate architecture of the elven city located in front of her. High minarets reach towards the sky, and their golden towers shine under the warm magical glow. The crowded streets were filled with elves of all shapes and sizes, going about their daily lives. Sarah couldn't help but feel excited and scared when she stepped into this vibrant world. As she makes her way through the maze, Chapter 3, uncovering the world of elves. Sarah's heart races with anticipation as she explores the city of elves. Every corner was carrying a new surprise, a glimpse into the vibrant and mysterious world of Jinn. You have encountered elves with their various forms and abilities, each with unique traits and powers. The market was bustling with activity, full of lively stalls selling exotic fruits, shimmering fabrics, and ornaments decorated with intricate designs. Sarah marveled at the colorful furnishings that seemed to come to life with every gust of wind. The air was filled with the smell of spices and the sounds of bargaining merchants. And while she was moving among the noisy crowd, Sarah saw a group of elves participating in a lively dance. Their bodies moved gracefully, and their fluid movements were mesmerizing to watch. She could not help but join them, following in their footsteps, plunging into the melodies of rhythmic music that filled the air. After the dance, Sarah finds herself drawn to a quiet park far from the chaos of the market. The air was heavy with the aroma of blooming flowers, and a gentle breeze caressed the leaves of old trees. And in the center of the garden there was a fountain, the waters of which sparkled with iridescent colors. When Sarah approached the fountain, a form of water appeared. He was a genie with flowing blue hair and eyes that seemed to carry the wisdom of centuries. This fairy, whose name is Aziza, was a guardian spirit of the fairy world. She felt the arrival of Sarah and was waiting to meet her. Aziza explained to Sarah that the Jinn world exists in parallel with the human world, hidden from human eyes. Elves were ancient beings, born from a smokeless fire, possessing incredible powers. They had their own communities, traditions, and hierarchies in this area. Sarah's heart was filled with curiosity when Aziza shared tales of the history of the elves and the delicate balance that existed between their world and the human world. And I learned that not all Jinn are benevolent, and some of them carry evil intentions. It was of paramount importance for Sarah to tread carefully and trust her instincts. And with the new knowledge, Sarah felt a sense of purpose ignite inside her. She was determined to learn more about the world of Jinn, reveal its secrets, and find a way to return home. Aziza promised to guide her through this journey, providing wisdom and protection along the way. Thus, Sarah and Aziza embarked on a search journey through the world of Jinn, to delve deeper into its wonders and dangers. Together, they will face trials, face allies and adversaries, and eventually discover the truth behind Sarah's connection to this mysterious world. When Sarah and Aziza set off, they were unaware of the shadows lurking in the depths of the Jinn world. Dark forces were awakening, threatening to upset the delicate balance between the Jinn and the human world. Sarah's arrival did not go unnoticed. Her journey was full of challenges, tests of her strength and courage. Will Sarah be able to navigate the intricate web of the world of elves? Can she reveal the ancient knowledge necessary to restore harmony and protect the world of Jinn and man? Meeting the guardian spirit. Sarah and Aziza continued their journey through the world of elves, their footsteps echoing in the narrow alleys of the bustling city. The air was flying with magic, and Sarah could not help but feel awe and wonder at every turn. During their walk, Aziza shared stories about guardian spirits protecting the world of Jinn. These spirits were entrusted with maintaining the delicate balance between the world of Jinn and man. They possessed tremendous knowledge and strength, and their guidance was crucial in Sarah's quest. After what seemed like hours of walking, they arrived at the entrance of a large mansion. And its towering gates were decorated with intricate carvings depicting scenes from the legends of the Jinn. Sarah's heart races with anticipation as she follows Aziza inside. The palace was a breathtaking sight. Bejeweled chandeliers flooded the luxurious halls with soft ethereal light. Exquisite tapestries depicting ancient battles and mythical creatures adorn the walls. Sarah could not help but feel a sense of reverence in the presence of such greatness. And in the heart of the palace, they got to a wonderful room. In its center stood a figure dressed in flowing robes, radiating an aura of wisdom and power. He was the Supreme Guardian, the leader of the guardian spirits. The eyes of the Supreme Guard shone with ancient knowledge when she looked at Sarah. Her voice echoed throughout the room, it resonated with a sense of authority and grace. She welcomed Sarah to the palace and recognized the importance of her trip. Sarah felt a mixture of excitement and nerves standing in front of the Supreme Guardian. I knew that this meeting held the answers I had asked for. With a deep breath, she explained her discovery of the book and her journey to the world of Jinn. The Supreme Guard listened attentively, her eyes were filled with understanding. She reveals that the book Sarah found was a powerful artifact known as the Jinn manuscript. She was the bearer of ancient wisdom, prophecies, and spells that could tip the scales in favor of good or evil. Sarah's role became clear. Fate has chosen her to unravel the secrets of the Jinn manuscript, learn how to harness its power, prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The fate of both worlds was to fall on her shoulders. The Supreme Guardian conveyed her wisdom to Sarah, taught her about the different worlds within the world of the elves and the forces that threaten their existence. She guided Sarah through complex rituals and practices that would help her tap into her latent powers. When Sarah absorbed the knowledge, she felt a surge of energy running through her veins. The world around her seemed to turn and sparkle, as if responding to her new connection with the world of Jinn. She began to realize that her journey was not only about returning home, but also about embracing her inner strength. With the blessing of the Supreme Guardian, Sarah and Aziza left the palace. Their determination is stronger than ever. They knew that their path would be full of challenges, but they were ready to face everything that awaited them. When they went out into the sunlight, Sarah felt a renewed sense of purpose. Armed with the wisdom of the Supreme Guardian and dear guidance, she was ready to face the forces of darkness that threaten the world of elves and protect both worlds from impending chaos. Secrets of the Forbidden Forest. Sarah and Aziza venture into the depths of the Forbidden Forest, a place shrouded in mystery and danger. The dense canopy blocked out a lot of sunlight, casting frightening shadows on the forest floor. The air was heavy with the smell of earth and ancient magic. And while they were walking in the forest, Sarah's senses increased. Strange whispers seemed to emanate from the trees, and the rustle of the leaves sent chills down her spine. She knew that within this forest lay the answers she was looking for, but she also knew that the forest would not easily reveal its secrets. Aziza guided Sarah through the maze paths, avoiding treacherous traps and hidden traps. The forest seemed to test their resolve at every turn, conjuring up illusions and mirages to confuse and deter them. But Sarah's determination flared up, and she continued to move forward, fueled by her desire to protect the world of elves and her own world. After what seemed like an eternity, they arrived at an empty land bathed in dim sunlight. In the center there was an ancient stone pedestal covered with intricate carvings. Sarah's heart beat when she realized that this was the sacred site mentioned in the Jinn manuscript. Aziza explained that this rule holds the key to unlocking the true power of the Jinn manuscript. Legends whisper that the first elves have established here a link with the human world, creating a connection that will last through the ages. Without hesitation, Sarah approached the base, her hands trembling with anticipation. She closed her eyes, focused her energy and intention. Slowly, the Jinn manuscript was laid out on the stone surface. And while she was doing this, the base began to glow with a warm golden light. The symbols engraved on the stone come to life, spin and move, as if responding to the presence of an ancient artifact. Sarah felt a wave of strength flowing through her, connecting with something much greater than her. At that moment, the forest seemed to come to life. The trees whispered secrets with faint voices, and the echoes of forgotten tales were carried by the wind. Sarah's mind is filled with visions and glimpses of the past, revealing the history and fate in which the world of Jinn and man intertwined. Through visions, Sarah learned of the existence of a looming darkness, a force that sought to harness the power of the elven manuscript for evil purposes. It was a being known as the Shadow Wizard, an elf consumed by greed and hatred, who sought to plunge both worlds into eternal chaos. With a new clarity, Sarah knew that her journey was not only about unraveling the mysteries of the elven manuscript, but also stopping the Shadow Wizard's insidious plans. She realized that she had become a beacon of hope, chosen to balance and protect the worlds from destruction. When the visions subsided, Sarah opened her eyes, and her resolve tightened. She knew that the road ahead would be treacherous and full of dangers, but she was ready to face everything that awaited her. With the elven manuscript in her possession and dear by her side, she will face the Shadow Magician and restore harmony to the elven world and her own world. The Gathering Storm. Thanks to the knowledge gained from the Forbidden Forest, Sarah and Aziza set out on a mission to gather allies in their fight against the Shadow Wizard. They knew that they could not face such a formidable enemy alone. They needed the strength and wisdom of others who shared their cause with them. Their first stop was the ancient White City, famous for its famous magic academies. And when they entered the gates of the city, Sarah marveled at the tall towers and busy streets filled with scientists and magicians from all over the kingdom of the elves. Their search led them to the Great Library, a repository of knowledge containing countless manuscripts and volumes about the magic of the elves and their history. Sarah and Aziza were greeted by the wise librarian, an old genie with a long white beard and sparkling eyes. They explained their task to the librarian, who listened attentively, shaking his head understandingly. He reveals that there are 3 powerful Jinn scholars residing in White, each with unique knowledge and abilities that can help their cause. He provided Sarah with directions to their residences within the city. The first world they visited was Zafira, the master of elemental magic. Her modest dwelling was decorated with symbols representing fire, water, earth, and air. Zafira greeted them warmly, her eyes full of wisdom and kindness. Sarah explained their quest to Zafira, who smiled and agreed to join their cause. She shared her experience in harnessing the forces of the elements and taught Sarah the intricacies of dealing with fire, water, and earth. Under the guidance of Zafira, Sarah's powers expanded, allowing her to control and shape the elements to help in their journey. After that, they looked for Malik, a famous fortune-teller who lived in a tower overlooking the city. Malik has the ability to peek into the future and reveal hidden truths. His room was filled with old folders and noisy mirrors. Sarah and Aziza found Malik engrossed in his studies with his eyes full of visions. They waited patiently for him to finish, and when he came out of his trance, he greeted them with a knowing smile. He agrees to lend his abilities to their cause, using his insight to guide them through the dangers ahead. Malik gifted Sarah a crystal necklace that allowed her to take advantage of her intuition and see glimpses of what awaits her. Through his guidance, Sarah honed her instincts, learned to trust her inner voice, and overcome the challenges that awaited her. The last world they searched for was Amara, a skilled witch who resided in a hidden grove on the outskirts of the city. Her dwelling was a haven of blooming flowers and calm melodies. Architecture possessed an attraction to spells and ancient magic. Sarah and Aziza found Amara engaged in a delicate dance with the elements, gracefully weaving complex spells that amazed them. When Sarah explained their task, Amara's eyes shone with determination. She realized the importance of their cause and pledged her support. Amara shared her knowledge of ancient magic, and Sarah taught the art of imparting magical properties to objects. Through Amara's guidance, Sarah learns how to create protective spells and harness the power of ancient artifacts to help them in their fight against the Shadow Wizard. Sarah and Aziza returned with their new allies to the Great Library, where the wise librarian was waiting for their arrival. He praised their efforts and provided them with a map revealing the locations of other potential allies scattered in the elven world. Armed with the wisdom and strength of Zafira, Malik, and Amara, Sarah felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together they were ready to face the impending storm that threatens the world of elves and the world of man. Revelation of prophecies. With their new allies by their side, Sarah and Aziza set out on a journey to unravel the ancient prophecies that predicted the appearance of the Shadow Wizard and the key to his defeat. The map presented by the wise librarian led them to the sacred temple of divination, the place where the future was whispered through the ages. When they approached the temple, a feeling of reverence overwhelmed them. The air crackled with anticipation, and silence fell on their footsteps. The temple stood tall, its large columns stretched towards the sky, decorated with intricate carvings depicting the history of the Jinn kingdom. Inside the temple, they were greeted by the high priestess, a wise and ethereal figure dressed in flowing robes. She pointed them to the center of the room, where a sparkling pool of water was waiting for them. The pool, known as the Pool of Fate, has the ability to reveal the secrets of time and the threads that have woven the fabric of their world. Sarah and Aziza approached the pool, their hearts beating with a mixture of excitement and fear. The high priestess guided them, ordering them to concentrate their intentions and questions in the water. While they were doing this, the surface of the pond rippled and swirling images appeared in it. Prophecies unfolded before their eyes, revealing a series of trials and tests that Sarah must face in order to fully harness her powers and confront the Shadow Wizard. Experiences will push her to her limits, test her courage, resilience, and firm belief in the power of love and unity. The first trial will take place in the Caves of Illusion, a labyrinth of moving mirrors and deceptive magic. Sarah will have to navigate the maze, relying on her instincts and the guidance of her allies to find her way out. It was a test of perception and self-confidence, challenging her to see beyond the illusions that the shadow magician would weave. The second trial was awaited in the Vale of Shadows, a world in which darkness reigns. Sarah will have to face her deepest fears and doubts, face the darkness inside herself and become stronger, with unshakable faith in her light. It was a test of inner strength and the power of self-acceptance. The third trial will lead Sarah to the Fountain of Wisdom, a sacred source of knowledge hidden deep in the heart of the Jinn world. There, she will have to solve ancient riddles and solve complex puzzles, proving her intelligence and ability to think beyond the surface. It was a test of wisdom and the ability to find answers where others saw only mystery. The final trial, known as Crafting Unity, will require Sarah to unite her allies and harness the power of their combined forces. She had to prove her leadership and ability to inspire others, forming a unity league that would stand against the divide-and-conquer tactics pursued by the Shadow Wizard. It was a test of the love, trust and strength that comes from standing together. As the visions faded into the pool of fate, Sarah and Aziza were in awe of the challenges that awaited them. But they were also filled with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. They understood that these experiments were necessary in their quest to defeat the Shadow Wizard and restore balance to the world of elves and the world of man. With the wisdom of the prophecies that guided them, Sarah and Aziza left the divination temple, ready to face the trials and tests that awaited them. They knew that the road ahead would be arduous, but with their allies and unshakable faith in the power of love and unity, they were ready to face the darkness face to face. Caves of Illusion. Sarah stood at the entrance to the Illusion Caves, her heart beating with anticipation. The caves were surrounded by a strange fog, which gave them an aura of another world. When she took her first step forward, she felt a surge of energy running through her veins, a reminder of the experiences that were waiting for her inside. The tunnels of the labyrinth were lined with mirrors of all shapes and sizes, reflecting fragments of Sarah's own image of her. But she knew that these mirrors held more than just her reflection, they held illusions and deceptions that would challenge her perception. With Zafira, Malik and Amara by her side, Sarah ventured deeper into the caves. The mirrors seemed to move and rearrange themselves, creating an ever-changing maze that confuses their senses. Sarah relied on her intuition and the guidance of her allies to navigate through illusions. Sometimes the mirrors distorted Sarah's appearance, making her doubt her identity. She saw herself as an old woman and a little girl, and even as an ethereal genie. But she remained steadfast, reminding herself of her purpose and the strength that lies inside her. And as they delved deeper into the caves, the illusions became more complex and challenging. Sarah found herself facing the reflections of her fears and insecurities. Doubt whispered in her ear, trying to weaken her resolve. But she remembered the prophecies and the importance of self-confidence. With each step, I became more determined to see through fantasies and find a way out. And at a particularly confusing moment, Aziza's voice cut off the confusion. Sarah, remember who you are, she said, her words full of conviction. Trust your instincts, because they will guide you through this maze of deception. Inspired by the cherished words, Sarah closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She focused on the power within her, the connection she established with the elements, the insight Malik gave her, and the magic Amara taught him. With renewed clarity, she opened her eyes and saw the truth behind the illusions. Sarah smashed the mirrors that stood in her way one by one, dispelling illusions and revealing the right way forward. Her allies followed suit, using their skills and abilities to help navigate the caves. Together they forged the path of truth amid illusions. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Sarah and her allies reached the heart of the Caves of Illusion. And there, they found a glowing portal, a portal to the next trial. When Sarah entered through the gate, she realized that she had overcome the first test, and she came out stronger and more confident in her abilities. The caves of illusion have taught Sarah the importance of seeing beyond the surface, trusting her instincts, and being free from the illusions that have clouded her path. With each experience, she becomes closer to fulfilling her destiny and confronting the shadow magician. Join Sarah in the next chapter as she faces the veil of shadows and confronts her deepest fears. Will she be able to find the light in the dark? The answers are waiting for you in The Jinn's Obsession, a girl's journey to the enchanted world.